Hello, welcome to my channel. I'm the instructor Alejandro Guzman. I will frequently upload topics about software development, program languages, database, and much more. All my course completely free. Remember to subscribe to my channel and activate the bell to receive notifications when I upload new videos. So, see you soon. Hello everyone. Welcome to the Advanced Bean Editor course. In this course, we will learn the most used text editor in the world. So, if you are a programmer in Unix, Linux environment, in language like PHP, Shell script, or others, this course is for you. At the end of this course, you will find a complete guide to download with every command in this course. So, hit click button and buy this course right now. See you soon. B is a program that falls into the category of text editors. Unlike a word processor, it does not offer tools to visually determine how the printed document will look. This is why it lacks options such as centered, justification, or paragraph, but allows to move, copy, delete, or insert characters with great versatility. This type of program is often used by programmers to write software source code. B originally written by Bill Joy in 1976, taking resources from Ed and X, two text editors from Unix, who tried to create and edit files, hence the creation of B. There is an improved version called Bean, but B is found in almost every Unix-like system, so knowing rudiments of B is a safeguard against emerging operations of various operating systems. To enter the B editor, we use the B command, leave a space, and write the name of the file we want to open. For example, we are going to create a file called bdemo new.txt. Look at the last line of the screen. This is the line where we see the status of B, and in this case B is telling us that this file is new and does not have any lines. This is how a file is opened in B using the command mode. Let's leave the B editor for a moment and see what happens when I type in a file that already exists. In the last line, the screen observes that the number of lines that the file has appears, the full name of the file, and how many characters the file contains. We are going to see some useful commands to learn to move through the file, the paragraph, or the script in the B editor. These commands serve to move us through the rows or columns, and we will also see utilities to move through the different words that make up the document. We also have some utilities that allow us to move quickly through the file. This command will basically allow us to move as the cursor keys to move it from left to right, up or down, and also utilities to move to the first column or the last column of the document. We are going to perform the test of how it performs the displacement in the editor B, then observe the following. I have a test file and we're going to start using the command we just saw. The H command is used to move a column in the current row to the left. Let's press the letter H and see what happens. We move to the left, and each time you press the H, I move a column to the left. The J command allows us to move one row down to the next row. Observe what happens when you press the letter J. B goes down to the next row. The key command allows us to move up one row to the previous row. Observe what happens when you press the key command. The L command allows us to move one column to the right. Observe when I press the letter L what happens. Another command that we saw is the 0. When pressing the number 0, we move to the beginning or to the first column in the row on which we are. I'm going to press the 0 and see what happens. Automatically, I go to the first column. If I use the dollar symbol, I move to the end of the column. I'm going to press the dollar symbol and the cursor is placed on the right in the last column. Another of the commands that can be used in B is use it to move us over words or even over complete sentences. For example, the W commands allow me to move the next word to the first character. Observe what happens when I press W. The E command allows you to go to the last character of the current word. Observe what happens when I press the E command. I move to the last letter on the word in which I am. The B command allows me to go to the first character of the current word, or if I am not in the current word, the previous word is moved. Observe that what happens when I press the B command. You can use the command to move to the next sentence using the close parentheses. Observe what happens when I pulse close parentheses. B moved to the beginning of the next sentences as my sentence is complete. Basically, it goes to the last line of the current sentences, and open braces are used. I am moving towards the previous sentences. Observe what happens when I press open braces. I go basically to the beginning of the previous sentences as a document is a complete sentence. The V moved to the beginning of the document. Other useful commands that we have in B allows us to move quickly on the screen. If your screen has 8 lines, it will only move on these 8 lines. If your screen has 22 or 24 lines, this command will help you to move quickly over the current screen. For example, the uppercase H command will move me to the first line of the screen. It is not the first line of the file. It is the first line of the display screen. See what happens when you press the H uppercase. You can also use the capital M command. This will make me move towards the middle part of the screen. It is not in the middle part of the file, in the middle part of the display screen. Notice when I press the M uppercase. The L uppercase command allows me to quickly go to the last line of my screen. Observe what happens when I press L uppercase. In this way, I can quickly scroll over the data I have in the current display screen. Another very useful command is the vertical bar. With the vertical bar, I can move quickly to the first column of the current line on the screen. I will move a few lines up so you can see how this command works. Observe, I place myself in a random position on the screen and now I'm going to press the vertical bar. Observe what happens. The cursor goes to the first column of the line where I am. Other commands that we can use to move quickly through the file is to use the command to go to a specific line, or also use a command to go to the first line of the screen. For this, we are going to do, for example, first press the line number we want to go to. For example, if we want to be 5, I press 5 and then capital G. And B automatically takes me to the 5 lines of the content of my file. If I want to go quickly to the end of my file, what I do is press uppercase G only, and this will take me to the end of the file. This command is available in line mode. That is to say, by entering 2 points and placing the line number to which I want to go. For example, if I go to the first line of the file, I can write 2 points and this takes me directly to the first line of the file. Or I can also say 2.5, enter, and B takes me to the line 5 of the file. In this way, we have seen all the commands that are useful for scrolling through our file. Let's now look at some basic commands to learn how to mark positions in the bin editor. I mean the M commands and the apostrophe command. The M command, followed by a letter, that allows you to create a brand with the name of the letter that you press, and it will be contain the current line number. It is used to create marks and then be able to easily return to that position in the document. The apostrophe command and the letter that we press will allow us to quickly move to the line number we had marked. Let's see an example of how brands are created and how to use them in our documents. For example, I will place a mark on line 3 of this document. Then I move initially with J to move down, and when I on line 3, I press the letter M to define the mark, the M command, and then press the letter. For example, the A. I just created a brand called A, and it has the address of line 3. Now I'm going to go down and I'll place a mark where the body ends, for example, and this mark will put the letter B. Then I press MB. I have already created the 2 brands. Now, how do I get back to the first brand? What I basically do is use the apostrophe and the letter of the brand. Then observe, I press the apostrophe and the brand, and it automatically takes me to the line where the brand is located. I can also do with the brand that I put in B. I press apostrophe and I go to B. And in this way, I can create several marks in my document and move through the document quickly. We can use all the letters from alphabet from A to C. In this way, you can create between 24 and 27 marks in your document. We will now see several commands in line mode that will allow us to save change and exit the B editor. Note that the commands in line mode, you have to press 2 points and type the command as you wish. These commands allow us to exit the editor, force exit without saving the change to the file, save change and continue in editing, or save change to the file and exit the B editor. Let's see the example. Let's see the commands to save change and exit the editor B. How you saw it in the previous slide, we will enter an example file, and this file we will edit. Then note that my file is called demo.txt. To exit the B editor, the only thing that you need to be done in line mode is to enter the line mode with 2 points and press Q in lowercase letter, and then enter. And note that the B editor exit. Let's go back to edit the same file again. Well, let's make a change in this file and try to exit the editor to see the answer. For example, I'm going to delete a line in this editor, then we'll look at the commands to erase lines. I already made the change, and I'm going to try to exit the editor. Enter command line mode with 2 points and Q and enter, and watch what happens. The editor warns me that I have not recorded a change and that if I stay out, I must add the exclamation mark to the command I just typed. Then let's do that. We are going to enter again to command line with 2 points Q and admiration symbol, and we give enter. And notice that we have already left the editor B. We are going to enter again, and we do a test of how to save information in the editor. Once inside the file, you enter the command mode, 2 points and press the letter W, right, in lowercase, and you give enter, and this saves the file. Note that the bottom lines show how many lines the file has. 8 lines in this case. If I want to save and leave, basically what I do is enter command line mode again with 2 points and type followed by the 2 letters W, Q, equivalent to saying write and quit, and we give enter. And with this we do the test of how it is to leave the editor, save change or exit without saving change in the editor B. Another way to save the information in our file is to use the W command. And the W command allows an additional parameter such as the name of the file I want. For example, if our file is called demo.txt as you see on the screen, but I want to save it with another name, basically I use the following command. Enter line mode with 2 points, press the W, space, and place the name of the file I want. For example, new.txt, and enter. Note that he says that the file already exists, and if I want to overwrite it, I should use the exclamation mark. Then let's do that. 2 points, W, exclamation mark, space, and we put the name of the file again, new.txt, and enter. Note that he saved the file and placed it new.txt. Our previous file was called demo.txt. Basically, with the W command, and has a parameter, the name of the file. I just created a copy of the previous file, and in this way I use saving files with a different name. Another way to save the file and exit the V editor is to use the line command X. For this, we basically use 2 points and X, and this automatically is like executing a write quit. That is, it saves the file and then it goes out, and in this way I exit the V editor saving the file. Let's enter again and continue to see some utilities of the write command. For example, sometimes it may be necessary for you to want to record only a few lines of the file. Do not save the whole file. If we suppose that we have a file of 3,000 lines and you only want to save a specific paragraph or a few hundred lines in another file, we can basically use the following variant of the command write. It is done using the write command in line mode. 2 points, initial line number, for example, line 5, comma, final line, for example, line 8, and what you will do is record from line 5 to line 8 in another file. W to say write, and then the name of the file we want, for example, pedazo.txt, and enter. This command basically what you are going to do is a copy from line 5 to line 8 and save it in another file called pedazo.txt. Note that it appears that there is already a new file that has 4 lines and 74 characters. Let's see that file. Then we leave this file and we will see the file pedazo.txt, and note that this file only contains lines 5 to 8 that I have selected in a previous option. Let's see a utility that will allow us to add the contents of this file to another file that already exists. The basic condition of this command is that the destination file must exist because it is a content addition. So we will use the W command as follows: 2 points, W, the greater than symbol, twice. This to indicate that you are going to add contents, and the file name, for example, file.txt, and enter. Note that in the lower part it appears how many lines were added to the file, indicating 8 lines appended. If the name of the file does not exist, it will generate an error message because as I am trying to add lines to a file and it does not exist, we will have the following message. For example, 2 points, W, greater than, and for example, we create a file called temporal.txt and enter. Observe the response of the V. The V tells me this file does not exist. Then you cannot open it as this command is twice greater than. It means that the file must exist. An interesting variant for this command is also being able to add a group of lines to another file. That is, do not add the whole file as we saw previously, but add only a range of lines. For example, suppose I want to take lines 5, 6, and 7 of the file. That is, from where body goes until the end of body, and I want to add them to another file. Basically, we use the same command 2 points. We put the initial line, for example, 5, 7, that is from line 5 to line 7. The double command greater than, and the name of the destination file, for example, another file .txt. Remember that the file must exist because I am trying to add content. If this file does not exist, this shows the error message that we previously saw. The file does not exist or cannot be written. Then watch the command and this adds from line 5 to line 7 the contents of my file to the other file that I am indicating and observes the response. Added 3 lines and added 66 characters to the file. Another interesting utility that we can use with B is the reading of other files to incorporate their contents into our current file. You must first locate on the line and below you will place the file. I will move with J to the head and I will bring my file from the previous example to insert it under this part. This is done with the line commands 2 points R, and I put the name of the file that we just saved. In this case, it was called otroarchivo.txt and enter. And note that he broke me 3 lines and 66 characters from that another file. If the another file does not exist, basically it will get an error message that the file does not exist and cannot add the contents. Then there are commands allow us to bring another file and add the contents from the current position of the cursor. And finally, I can save these new contents. 2 points W and my file is updated.